I watched Christopher Wray speak before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and it seemed like he was lying when they asked him about election fraud. Like he just looked like he was lying because he treated the question differently, or treated the way he answered it was different than all his other answers. It seemed like what was going on was a lot of partisan bickering more than anything. Like, hey, Christopher Wray, can you stick it in Donald Trump's face that he was racist and he's causing hate crimes, or he caused hate crimes? The reality is that I feel like when everyone is persecuting Asians because of what we did, or what my people did by releasing COVID-19, it's me that caused the hate crimes. But did I? No, but it's still kind of our fault, because how in the world did this virus end up in Wuhan, where there's this virology institute? And you have to understand, like, I realize that no one believes me, and they're not supposed to believe me, because only the cops are supposed to believe me, and then the cops are just going to cover up everything to protect themselves because they've done so much terrible stuff in the past, and then by covering up all this stuff, they're going to kill a ton of people. And I think that's basically the plan, and no matter what, it's my fault. So when people want to work with me until they find my YouTube page, I understand. But the thing is, like, the FBI you'll never even notice them. And if you're not moving massive amounts of drugs, they're never going to bother you. Like, the last thing they're ever going to do is bust you if you do drugs or something like that. Like, everyone does drugs. It's just like the way it is. So, like, I would still think it'd be okay to work with me, but I understand if people don't want to work with me for that reason. It sure seems like the Democrats want to censor more. And when I was listening to this congresswoman from Hawaii, however you say it, or the senator from Hawaii, she sounded like she wants to turn the United States into communist China. And then when I listen to some of these Republicans, like the guy from North Carolina, he sounds like he wants to put everyone away indefinitely. Like, he completely lacks compassion. And I have never heard someone that he sounds like he's just such a mean person. Like, he's just a mean-hearted person. And I think that people elect people that are like them. So probably there are a lot of mean-hearted people in North Carolina, but you never know. Maybe there are people that are nice, but it sure seems like the world lacks compassion. It seems like everyone, their solution is put everyone in prison. Like, you're a member MS-13, I'm putting you in prison. When in reality, like, if you're a person that sells drugs and then you go to prison, you might need to become MS-13 if you're a Mexican, or not a Mexican, but like a Central American, because it will keep you safe. And a lot of the time people do things to keep them safe. It's not because, like, they're mean people, but it sure seemed like there was a lot of hate towards MS-13, which it's easier for you guys to hate MS-13 than other people for me. Like, it's like, well, yeah, hate them. As long as you don't hate us, it makes it easier. Focus your attention on those people. That works. But I don't know. Like, I was really disappointed with the Senate when I listened to him talk to Christopher Wray, because it's like, hey, can you answer a question that's completely political instead of actually answering a question that only you could answer? Because if I had a chance to ask Christopher Wray questions, I would actually ask him questions. So anyways, I got a letter from Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and they have it in bold that my letter is wholly inappropriate. I guess justices are not allowed to communicate, and so maybe that's why. I wasn't asking them to communicate with me. I was asking them to communicate with other people and try to figure out why the FBI is allowed to censor people, why they're allowed to do terrible things to people, why the government has been allowed to cover up so much. And I just don't understand why I'm the only person that, in my opinion, believes in America to the point that I think that cops aren't above the law, that if cops are doing terrible things, then people should know about it. It shouldn't be censored, but it is what it is. I am out of here. My brother's drinking again because he went to jail because he had a traffic ticket. Wow, he did such a bad thing. He probably sped or something like that. And so he quit drinking for a long time, and now he's drinking again. He's an alcoholic. So, wow, the judicial system is really working, isn't it? It makes people better. No, it doesn't. Like, the moment you get out of jail, all you need is drugs. Like, that's like everyone is like, the first thing they need is a cigarette. Like, oh, I haven't smoked cigarettes for years. Now I need a cigarette. Oh, I haven't drank. Now I need a drink. It's the way jail is, and that's why when I listen to this guy from North Carolina, and he's like, we got to lock them all up. We got to put them away for so long. I'm like, what kind of crime? And then I saw someone else. What kind of crimes are you charging people with? Why are you asking the director of the FBI something that you can read in the freaking news? You didn't read the Olympians article about all the crimes he's charged with? Like, I mean, why are you asking him stupid questions when you could ask him relevant questions? Maybe you guys asked him good questions in a classified environment, not in a public hearing. But I was very disappointed with the Senate. Like, you guys sound like a bunch of partisan hacks.